Hi everyone, welcome to Eco Learning Classes. This is Professor Geeta Mahesh. Dear students, now let us discuss census and sample survey. What do you mean by census survey? Census survey is nothing but collecting information from each and every unit of population. Sample is nothing but collecting information from selected representative from the population. You can see in the diagram, if you consider the whole population and from all these people, if you are going to collect information, then it is known as census. From these, if we select a representative from this group, one person, from here one person, here one person, and from the other group one person. So how many samples you are going to take? 4 samples you are going to. And if you collect information from those people, then it is called as sample survey. So here census means a survey which includes every element of the population. As we discussed in the previous slide, if you consider the entire population, whoever present, the total number of people included while conducting a census. And the most essential feature of this census is that it covers every individual unit in the entire population. If you consider sample, it is going to collect the information from the representative unit. It won't cover entire population, but from the population, they are going to select a representative units, and from those representative units, we are going to collect the information. And the sample is said to be a good sample only when it is lesser or smaller than the population, and it should be in a position to provide a reasonably accurate information. And whenever you are going to use a sample method, the cost of collecting information must be lower and the time taken should be very shorter. What do you mean by random sampling? When you are going to select the samples, and if all the units in the population will get an equal chance of being selected, then that sampling we call it as random sampling. So here proportionately they have selected, you can see they have taken 4 samples, and the 4 samples you can observe here out of 12, total number out of 12. If you consider the black shaded one, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, out of 6 they have selected a 2. And if you consider gray color here, 1, 2, 3 is there. Out of 3, 1 they have given. And if you consider white one, there are 3, so 1 opportunity is given. That means proportionately they are going to select a samples. So here if a population is heterogeneous and they are grouped, and according to the group and the size of the group, they are going to consider the samples and they are going to select. So this type of selection we call it as random sampling, where every unit of population will get an equal chance of being selected. Now let us understand random sampling with the help of an example. Here we need to select samples from the population. For example, government wants to determine the impact of rise in the petrol price on the household budget of a particular locality. For this, a representative sample of 30 households to be taken and studied. The names of all the 300 houses at an area are written on the piece of paper and mixed well. Then 30 names to be interviewed are selected one by one. In a random sample, each individual unit has equal chance of being selected or getting selected. Similarly, in a lottery method, each individual unit is selected at a random from the population, thereby has an equal opportunity to get a chance. So here you can see, dear students, there are 300 houses and we need to select only 30 houses for sampling purpose or for conducting a survey. So randomly we are going to select. How we are going to select means we are going to use a lottery system, and all the names of 300 houses will be written and we will put it in a box and we will mix very well, and we are going to take out 30 names one after the other, and we are going to conduct an interview with those 30 houses or from those 30 houses. Now the question is, does the lottery method always gives you a random sample? Explain. Of course, yes. Lottery method always gives a random sample if it is used in a proper manner without any bias. In a random sample, each unit has equal chance of getting selected. Similarly, lottery method also, each unit of population will get an equal chance of being selected. And when you get an equal chance of being selected, then it is called as random sampling. And as already we discussed an example that government want to determine the impact of a rise in the price of a petrol on the household budget of a locality. And here we need to select 30 houses as a sample to conduct a survey on the basis of random. So the names of 300 houses will be written in a paper and piece of papers, and it will be dropped into the box and it will be mixed very well. After that, we are going to select 30 names to be interviewed. In a non-random sampling method, all the units of population will not get an equal chance of being selected. They are selected on the basis of convenient judgment of an investigator. And investigators play an important role in the selection of sample. They are mainly selected on the basis of judgment, purpose, convenient quotas, and they are known as non-random samples. What do you mean by sampling error? Sampling error is nothing but the difference between sample estimates and actual value of characteristic of population. That means after taking samples from the population, whatever you are going to estimate, that we call it as sample estimate. And if we calculate the actual value of a characteristic of population, and if there is any difference, and that difference we call it as sampling error. It is an error that occurs when you take an observation from the sample and taken from the population, and that sample is taken from the population. Thus, the difference between actual value of parameter of population and its estimate is a sampling error. It is possible to reduce the magnitude of sampling error by taking a large samples. So we can eradicate a sampling error when you consider large number of samples. When you take large number of samples, the error or sampling error will come down or it reduces. Non-sampling error. What do you mean by non-sampling error? Means this is a type of error arises from recording of incorrect responses, editing, etc. Non-sampling errors are more serious than the sampling error because sampling error can be reduced by increasing the number of samples. By taking large samples, you can reduce non-sampling error. It is difficult to minimize non-sampling error even by taking a large sample. Even a census can contain non-sampling error. That means not only sample will have non-sampling error, even census method can also contain non-sampling error. So because of this reason, we say non-sampling error is more serious than the sampling error. What is this non-response error means? Non-response error occurs if an interviewer is unable to contact a person listed in the sample, or a person from the sample refuses to respond. Sampling bias occurs when the sampling plan is such that some members of the targeted population could not possibly be included in the sample. Let us have a glance on Census and National Sample Survey Organization. Census of India provides a most complete and demographic record of population. Census is being regularly conducted every 10 years since 1881. So once in 10 years we are going to conduct a population census, and it gives a complete and demographic record of population. The census officials collect the information on various aspects of population such as size, density, sex ratio, literacy, etc. Census data is interpreted and analyzed under many economic and social issues in India. And after independence, 1951 is the first census conducted in India. And if we consider NSSO, National Sample Survey Organization, was established by Government of India, conduct national-wide surveys on socio-economic issues. The data collected by NSSO are released through the reports and its quarterly journal Sarvekshana. NSSO provides periodical estimates of literacy, school enrollment, unemployment, etc. National Sample Survey Organization or office conducts three types of survey: socio-economic survey, annual survey of industry, agricultural surveys. Now let us have a glance on the most important abbreviations like National Sample Survey Organization, that is NSSO, Central Statistical Organization, CSO, Registrar General of India, RGI, Directorate General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics, that is DGCIS, Labor Bureau, etc. are the institutions which conducts a survey. Dear students, if you like, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.